Okay, so this box is absolutely massive. So I'm really excited to have this figure because I saw her on Annie Bases and Muralita, I think that's how you pronounce it, channel, and she looks stunning. So I really liked Hyperdimension Neptunia when I was younger. Played the first game, but the black suits are too much for me. I like paler colours. So when I saw this, I originally really wanted her, and it looks like she was closed for pre-orders everywhere at the time. Then I happened to stumble upon this this figure on Good Smile Company's website. For some reason they had some copies left in stock, whether people had cancelled, though I didn't think you could cancel Good Smile Company, or they just made more, who knows. Either way, I have her. It is the version without the OVA disc, which is unfortunate, but at the same time I have the figure. I love her design, so I'm really hyped to get this open. First though, let's look at the box, because it is such a huge part of this, and to be honest, I'm really glad I got her with Good Smile Company, because even though she went on sale on AmiAmi, shipping for this would have been atrocious. So I paid the 2,000 yen flat fee, and yeah, I'm happy with that. So we've got who the sculptor is and information about the OVA in the bottom. It's Purple Heart Lilac Cool version. I just love the colour scheme they've even got on the box. Frontier Works are the people who did the animation for it. And then we've got a nice full view of Purple Heart on the front. Now turning to the side, we've got some safety information and kind of a full view with her big gun. And then on top there's this lovely purple power button theme going on. On this side we have a closer picture of her, and then it's back to the power symbol again. On the back, just flip this around, you do get more shots of her, including some close-ups. And she looks absolutely beautiful. She does look huge though, so she's probably going to take up most of the space in the Dettol shelf. We'll find out when I get her open assembled. But yeah, I'm just going to crack into it. I did open and check her blister packaging before, which is why this side's open. Just because I was worried there was some damage, because Good Smile Company don't package things very well. But if I open this up, you can see the blister packaging and how big this whole thing is. So I'm going to wiggle this out for the first time, so it might be a little bit tight. So you can have her done with both guns, with just one of them. Oh. Right. And storing this is going to be hell, because the box is so big. But I intend to keep all my boxes, so I will deal with that later. Right, so we do have some instructions because I'm going to need it. Yeah, and then obviously with the blister packaging, she is quite small for a 1/7, I think people have said, but honestly she's big enough considering the size of this base. It's massive. Just wanted to point that out. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment to get her assembled, and then I'll come back and say what points were hard. Okay, so here she is fully assembled. So there is a couple of points that I want to get into before I actually start reviewing this figure. And the first thing is, if you do buy her, follow the instructions they give you to a T. So I actually had to super glue this base back down as it snapped off. I'll put a picture over the top of the footage just so you can see. It was a clean break, so there wasn't really, I think it's just more that the glue became loose, and with the force I pulled the arm, it came snapped off. The other thing to bear in mind as well is that these parts here are very fragile, so be careful when putting them in, and the same goes for her leg pieces. Now it does explain that on the actual instructions. I just decided to start putting her on the base first, which is a bad thing to do. But yeah, as long as you're careful, you follow the instructions properly, you shouldn't have any issues. There are some people who've posted on the MFC page for her saying that they've had an issue where some of the pegs aren't quite wide and are too big for the hole, things like that. But I haven't had any issues with that. It's just the base glue being so weak that it just came off with a little bit of force. But it was an easier fix, bit of super glue, and she looks fantastic. So I'm going to pull her in and try and bring her up to the screen. I can't get her completely close just because of how the base stands out and stuff. But the paintwork on this is absolutely beautiful. So her hair in particular, this shading is absolutely incredible. There's so much detail. You can see a seam line on the top of her head, but it's not that noticeable. I love the colours on her skin, so you can see little bits of orange where it shows off different like dips in her skin and her belly button, things like that. It's also the same on her back. Excuse her little bit of a butt crack there. But even her shoulder blades have immaculate work on them. So Good Smile Company did an excellent job. I do love the glossy paints for her legs and the armour, and also for these. Like, I went for this version of Purple Heart because I really love the pastel colours. The one by Ulta is also supposedly really good. It's just not the kind of colour scheme I wanted. The weapon itself also looks really good, so I'm going to pull this round. The only problem I have is if I pull her back, you can see how wide this gets. At an angle, she just fits in a Detolf. And again, I will put a picture on the screen to show what I mean, because I just recently got Detolfs myself instead of my old cabinet. I have no plans whatsoever to get rid of this figure though, or sell her at any point in the future. I absolutely love her. I got her off Good Smile Company when they seemed to restock some. She was about 30,800 or something, so 32,800 total with the shipping, which is amazing because Ami did have it on sale. So this version I have is without the OVA. The version on Ami includes the OVA, but I think with shipping it would have still been more expensive just because of how big this box is. Like, it doesn't even fit in the background. It's huge. And you can see why, like, there's so much detail here. The base is also huge. Like, I might be able to fit some like pale coloured Nendoroids around her and stuff. And you'll see in the picture that I put up before that Rem and Ram are going to be going down in this bottom corner. I'm hoping to get a razor for the back here and then put something on top of there. But yeah, shelf space is getting tight at this point. But overall, I'm really happy with her. There's just that one con where this was a little bit loose, and also the price and how much space she takes. But if you really love a figure, you will let them take that space. So yeah, overall super happy with her. I will take some close-up shots. It won't be on the table, the spinning table, because this is too big and the base underneath is hollow with some bits sticking up, so it's just not possible. But yeah, thanks for watching.